Once upon a time, there were 3 young children that lived in the beautiful neighborhood of Kingscote. It was hot, and they decided to sell some lemonade.
Lauren, an adorable young child who everybody adored, decided that she was going to sell Kool-Aid lemonade. Around the block from Lauren, Matt, a horrible young boy who was always getting himself into trouble, decided that he was going to sell Crystal Light lemonade. And around the block from Matt, Ryan, the weird little kid that scared away everybody, decided that he was going to sell pink lemonade.
When each decided to sell lemonade, they didn't know that others would be doing the same thing. But once they made their lemonade stands and found out that the other 2 were also going to sell lemonade, they decided that all 3 of them would work together as one in order to prevent more people from coming in so that each of them could make the most amount of money.
For a while, everything was going great, and no one else entered the market because they couldn't keep up with the other prices of the lemonade.
Then Matt thought to himself, if I charge more for my lemonade, I'll make more every time I sell. So Matt decided that he would raise his prices, thinking that he would make more money. After a while of this, everyone else in the neighborhood realized that Matt's lemonade cost far more than the other 2. So everyone decided to go to the other 2 lemonade stands. Ryan and Lauren were perfectly okay with this because keeping their prices where they were, they made more money. Matt was very sad because no one came to his lemonade stand anymore. Matt realized that his higher prices weren't making him any more. In fact, they were costing him money, so he decided to lower them back to where they had been. And this brought people back to his lemonade stand, and he made as much as the other 2 were making.
Lauren saw the effects of Ryan raising his prices and thought to herself, maybe if I lower my prices, I'll be able to sell more of my lemonade, and then I can, in return, make more money. After Lauren lowered her prices, a lot more people showed up to her stand to buy her lemonade. This made Matt and Ryan really angry because they had previously determined a price that they were all going to use. Therefore, they both decided that they would also lower their prices because they wanted to sell as much lemonade as Lauren.
They all were selling lemonade at the same price now, but instead of being $2, it was dropped to $1. And they were all angry because they weren't making as much money.
Obviously, this story is not just a story about 3 little kids, but it is also an illustration of what an oligopoly is and the kink demand curve.
An oligopoly is when a few sellers who are selling the same product or similar products work together so that they may make the most money. They work together as one, like they are one monopoly. The best way to understand this story is through the kink demand curve, which explains oligopolies. Point E is where we start. Point E is the price that everyone collectively set together when they first started out as an oligopoly. We saw an example of the oligopoly in the children of the neighborhood when they work together and set the same price so that they may make the money. In an oligopoly, it's not smart to raise your prices above E because that's the profit maximizing point, because it's where marginal cost and marginal revenue hit. If you raise your prices, like Matt did, you'll make more on every sale, which is why your marginal revenue is high, but your output will be incredibly low, so you won't make very much money.
Just as it's not smart to raise your prices in an oligopoly, it's also not smart to lower your prices. As soon as you lower your prices, this will start what's called a price war, where everyone else will match your low price. This way, you will all be making less money, but you will all be charging the same exact thing. And it's shown on the graph, your marginal revenue will be very low, but your marginal cost will be very high. And we saw an example of this in the story when Lauren lowered her prices. As soon as she lowered her prices from $2 to $1, Matt and Ryan did the same exact thing. Therefore, they were all charging $1 for their lemonade and only making $1 when they could have all been charging $2 and making $2 per cup.